My name's Aaran. My pronouns are they, them. And this piece of work is exploring like Croydon and also the future of it, like the queer future of it. But it's specifically looking at through the lens of queer and trans people of colour. So there's been like a lot of people inputting into this project to like, I guess, tell me about their experiences in Croydon, being queer, being trans, being a person of colour, and like their very specific stories. And I guess this piece is putting that all together, but it's also expressing like the way like queer and trans people of colour like live and experience the city and experience life. And it's coming up with like this alternative like ecosystem that's specific to the community, but is like birthed from Croydon, like made up of like fabrics, like a lot of things like nature and the way like the community gets built, and how it's like a whole universal like process of being connected to like nature and the earth, but also to the city as well, and like how we move through the city.
Hello, my name's Rachel Sampley and my pronouns are she, her, and my project for Queer Joy is a couple small tiny booklet collections of poems. So I am a text-based artist. I usually work in lighting and projection in theatre, and this is kind of a really exciting thing for me to be doing my own self-led work. So the poems I'm cutting out and then putting small illustrations next to them, and they'll be like the 90s Riot Girl zines put together, and people will be able to take them, look through them, and then because I wanted to add something, because it's a gallery space layout and everyone else has a lot of visual art, I thought it might be exciting to pull some of that creative typography and text-based stuff that's visual into something that you could look at from far away. You don't have to be like down here in the poems. So I've got a little projector that will be set up, and I've taken some submissions from my friends and colleagues and people in the community of what they also think Queer Joy is. So it's not just me and all my poems. And I've got an online form that we've shared as well. So I'll be collating those and putting them in a video that will loop in the gallery as well.
Hi, I'm Amber. My pronouns are she, they, and the work that I am working on is around scent. So I'm exploring the question what queer joy might smell like, and so I'm combining different scents like cedarwood and coriander, and they will be then put into these glass-blown sculptures for the public to smell. I'm quite interested in sensory ways of understanding the world. Yeah.
My name is Unfinished Quirks. My pronouns are she, her, and my work is based on the Black queer woman body, just about how we feel and how we embrace and how we take an ownership of our queerness through our bodies and make ourselves feel sexy and have that empowerment back, and just having the woman experience through queerness.
My name is Eli. My pronouns are they or he. And for the Queer Joy exhibition, I chose to make a piece that kind of came out of my inspiration was from some research I undertook about the neurobiology of transgender people. I read this incredible study that was specifically about the way that your brain chemistry changes during hormone therapy, specifically testosterone administered to transgender men. And that already for me was such an incredible thing and an affirming thing to see, because it was like, wow, this choice that I'm making autonomously about my own body and my own life is changing me on like the deepest level possible. That's so tangible and so powerful. But even more incredibly, what I learned from it as well is that even prior to starting hormone therapy, studies show that most transgender people, or a lot of transgender people, tend to have, through brain imaging scans, it's shown that they tend to have like a model of the brain that already differs to either typical male or female models, which again, was just such an incredible and empowering thing to learn, because for all the people out there that will say that transness is a fad or just like a trend or even like a mental illness, knowing that it's actually something that's present within you down to the deepest possible level is a really incredible thing to know. And yeah, that's kind of where my piece came from. You can kind of see some of the visual echoes of looking at brain imaging scans and then evolving something out of that. Because on a visual level as well, like the imagery that was involved, I was seeing so many things coming out of that. Like I was looking at the forms present and I was seeing things like butterflies and thorns and birds, and all of these other kind of images were coming to me. And so I allowed the work to develop and evolve really organically and to kind of make itself in a way.
For me, at first, it was like, I was a bit scared because I was like, I haven't worked in like a setting where I'm working in a group. It's been like years. So it was like nerve-wracking. But the first day when I came, I met Aaran, I met Amber, and I was like, okay, they are nice people. And then this week, met Eli, and I met you, Rachel. So it's like, the vibe is there. So I really like it. It's very like, it's like you pick up the energy of other people and put it onto your work. And it's good to have like people that are like hyping you up as well as hyping them up. So,
Yeah, personally, I feel really grateful, and like we've received so much from TERF. I mean, obviously there's like the support that we're getting in material terms, like having the studio space, having the visibility, having the resources that they offer. But I also have had a strong sense that they're here for us as a team and that they're willing to offer like support and guidance throughout this. But getting that from our fellow artists as well, like Rebecca was saying, has been such a transformative part of the process for me as well. And it's just great to be like made aware of TERF and that they're here and the work they're doing, helping out the arts culture here in Croydon and really helping that grow, which I guess is like their message. So
yeah, and even like how people walk past and see us, I feel like it's kind of amazing as well, because we're just like queer artists like making queer work, and people are seeing it. And I feel like for me as well, like a lot of my work, it's like a lot of queer audiences see it. So when it's like non-queer people, just like random, like a lot of different people just like looking over, it's just like nice. I feel like, oh, like they're seeing this expression. And yeah, like I really like that aspect of it.
That's so true. It makes it really like democratic that it's in this everyday setting, because then it's something that people who might never usually be exposed to that kind of stuff can experience really impactfully and directly. And that's really cool.
And a lot of times, I know for me, like it's a solitary practice, so I'll be like locked away in my room. So like it's been really nice to just be really visible and have that interaction from the community. Like, cause sometimes people will be like, "What are y'all doing in there?" And then I have conversations with people. But yeah, and everyone's been so welcoming here. It feels like they're really happy to have us here in this space. Well, I think a lot of times when you have a marginalized identity like queerness, sometimes funding feels restrictive to just things that aren't joy, like the exact opposite. It feels like show me a lot of like the pain, and that is real and that is part of the experience. But I feel like sometimes it gets really shoehorned into these small boxes where you have to kind of prostrate yourself to be like, here's the difficult bit. So it's just so refreshing to be able to be like, here's the great bit, here's the fun bit, here's the joy, here's this part that's like the really like just happy, wonderful part of it. And to have that really loud and out there and be proud of it, it's just been really great. It's coinciding with Pride, but in like a really strong way, not in like a capitalist way. So it's just been really, really refreshing, really nice.
Yeah, likewise, I think that as queerness becomes increasingly visible these days and a more like well known about, not necessarily well understood, but well known about phenomenon, sometimes there are things that kind of seem like they're coming from a kind of external angle. Like you're talking about like the capitalism that we see in Pride now, where it's just kind of like things that are almost kind of like exploiting queer people or like have an exploitative angle or aren't coming from within the community. And the impression I really got from when I saw the call out and saw the work that Bold Mellon are doing, which was I was already aware of, and learning now since about the work that TERF are doing as well, that it was something that was coming from within the community, that it was an expression of like real queer people doing something genuine and something artistic and creative to uplift themselves and each other, and something that was just like, direct and genuine and hard-hitting. And that was what made it exciting to me, and that was what definitely made me want to seek it out. It didn't feel like something that was just kind of marginalizing queerness and looking to get something out of it and make it look trendy or whatever.
To me, the call out, I didn't actually see it. My friend saw it and she sent it to me. She's like, you need to apply. And I took it into like the last minute because I was talking myself out of it anyway. And I was like, I won't get it. I won't do it. It's fine. But I guess I took that leap of faith to do it. And I got it, which is like, I was surprised because I was like, I didn't know I'll be picked. Like, I didn't know I was capable of being picked. But it's like bringing a community that you don't know exists, and it highlights it further, because it's hard to be a queer person and to find joy in that, because more times than not we're still fighting to find space. And it's like we have to make room for ourselves when the room should always be there, kind of thing. So yeah, it's been a journey. A journey to, that's the best way to put it, a journey.
Yeah, I feel that especially about it being a journey, actually. Like, even from thinking about the call out, and then like what's happened since then, and like just the concept of queer joy. Like, I think when I saw the call out, like for me, queer joy is about like finding spaces that don't exist, and also like with me and the communities that I work with, it's a lot of like queer and trans POCs. And I think this whole project it's not just about like the final piece, but the whole process of it has embodied queer joy so much, just from like meeting all of these like queer and trans people who have something to say about like their experiences and like living in the city, like having these small spaces on the side where like we've all got together, and it's been like very healing spaces, people coming in and just like working with me on the piece, like all of that's like been it's been healing, like it's been bringing people together, like making connections where we can all like think about like what queer joy is together. And that's been like the most important part, and it's been like a really beautiful experience.
I feel like it's just about bringing the word community back to its natural roots. Like, we're a group, we're supposed to be united, we're supposed to share experiences, and I feel like nowadays people are just so busy with day-to-day life and they're trying to achieve goals that they're forgetting what community actually means. And with queer joy, it's like that one moment where you're in one room and you're able to celebrate everyone and just be one and just take it in. So
Yeah, definitely. And also like our community is so like diverse and so mixed. There's so many different identities, and I feel like to have that all happening in one room, like people need to see that. People need to see like our expression, like the things that we have to say, like it's important. So that's why people should come.
Totally. That's what I was thinking, because even for like the previous question, when you were asking us about like kind of what drew us towards this residency and this exhibition and this event, I was thinking about one of the things that really excites me about it is that even just the group of residency artists within that, the selection has been diverse. And so it's not one specific way of looking at the experience of queer joy. It's, as you say, like a united vision of that's coming from so many different perspectives within the community. And that's a huge part of why I think people should come along, because it's not just like, oh, this is one type of queer experience. It's showing the variety and the range and the versatility of what queer joy can be in a way that's quite genuine.